Hey everyone, let's talk about first ice safety. This can be a pretty controversial topic, especially for you ice heads out there, and like myself, who as soon as you get the first few nights of freezing weather, you're jonesing to get on the ice no matter what. And I am too, so I get that. And back in my younger years, I was pretty reckless. I have fallen through the ice twice in my life. Not fun. It can be fatal, very dangerous, not something you want to mess around with. So I'm just going to run through some things to keep in mind, things that you definitely need when venturing out on the ice, whether it's first ice or whether you've got 10 inches of ice. Number one, this is going to be pretty hypocritical, but here goes. You should probably always go out with somebody else. My better half is a Southern man, and they have open water. So his mentality is, why would you want to go out in the ice when you could be fishing open water anywhere else? So that leaves me going out solo probably 90% of the time on my ice fishing trips. Probably not good, but if you don't have somebody to go with, always make sure, especially at first ice, you tell somebody where you're going and you have someone call to check on you. So if you don't answer your phone, they can worry, call 911, do whatever they need to do, come check on you, make sure you're okay. Rule number 2, know your forecast. Know what the weather's been, understand how ice works, how quickly it can form, read your local fishing reports, talk to people in your area, check the Facebook, any type of social media site usually is pretty indicative of what your ice report's going to be. I know back in Nebraska, we've got 3 different forums, people posting ice, warnings or here's good ice here. Heed that advice. Those people won't steer you wrong. Number 3, clothing. I'll touch briefly on this. A couple things I see people do wrong. 1, they wear cotton base layers or a base layer that isn't moisture wicking. That's not necessarily dangerous, but it can be incredibly uncomfortable. When you're hauling all of your gear out, you're gonna sweat, especially if you're me and you're pulling a huge sled by yourself, drilling a bunch of holes, hole hopping, all of that, you're gonna sweat. I always wear a merino wool or a base layer with a silver fabric that wicks moisture, antimicrobial, all that good stuff, and then I put layers on top of that. So at least when you're working and then you sit, your sweat doesn't sit there in your body and freeze. Same thing applies to a lot of the hunters out there know this too. You always want to wear good base layers. Clothing is such a huge thing. It can be not only warm, but it can be crucial to your safety when going out on the ice. So make sure you have a good ice suit. Next, the gear. There are several things you should have before going out on the ice. I will let you know what I have, and then there are more economically friendly options out there as well. First things first. Gotta have a spud bar. I left mine down south like an idiot, but it's not an excuse. I drove to my small town hardware store in Podunk Town, Nebraska, and asked for a spud bar. I got a spud hoe. Not exactly what I wanted, but it's close enough. It has this chiseled edge, and this is gonna work for today to get out there and check the ice. So let me go show you guys how this works. Every few feet, you're driving that thing into the ground, trying to check and see if there's any volatile ice. That's really important. Always, always, always have a spud bar. Second thing, this is not a fashion piece here. These are ice picks. Always want to have a set of ice picks. If you do fall through, having them around your neck, easily accessible, it's going to help you tremendously if you fall in, because this is going to allow you to slowly pull yourself out of the ice. Don't have these in your pocket. Don't have them in your sled. They are meant to be worn around your neck at all times. I always have a whistle along with my set of tools here. That I also keep around my neck. Having a whistle or something loud to signal anybody that might be near if you fall in is very important. I have one of these on the kayak too. You should always have something loud enough to get people's attention if something's going wrong. When going out on first ice, probably not smart to use a gas or electric auger. Those are pretty intrusive, pretty heavy. A lot of people actually use a spud bar to break through thin ice, or just use a hand auger. And be so careful when you're drilling. Another thing that's very important, micro spikes. These are the Catula micro spikes. I've had these things for 4 years. You can dead sprint across the ice in these things. I've seen a lot of my buddies fall. Don't skimp here. If there's one area to not skimp, it's your cleats. I've had people use those inserts or buy those cheap $20 set of cleats, and they're still sliding, slipping all over the place, falling on the ice. I have never had an issue with these. I love them. I'm not sponsored by them. I'll spend my hard-earned coin, I think they're 60 bucks, on these every single time. And like I said, I've had them for 4 years, so they last. The perfect glove would be one that has ultimate dexterity, waterproof, ultimate warmth. You're not gonna find that. However, there are ways to get both, kind of. I wear a thin, like merino wool glove for the dexterity. I've got my extreme weather, my AFTCO waterproof gloves that also allow you to use your phone, that I'll put on top of those gloves if it's real cold. And then I always bring those little grabber hand warmers, put them in my pockets, so if I am fishing and I need to have that sensitivity and that dexterity of just my wool gloves, I can shove my hands in my pockets for a few minutes, come back out, keep fishing again. So staying warm is super important as well. Again, guys, I know we're all itching to get out there. We all want to enjoy the ice. It is one of my absolute favorite things in the world. I'm happy to be up here ice fishing, but have to be safe first. A lot of accidents happen every year. You can prevent that, eliminate the risk, few small things, and just being mindful of a few small things. There are a lot of videos out there telling you what to do if you fall through the ice. Watch those. I'm not gonna probably make one. I don't wanna get in that water anytime soon, but check those out. Learn what to do if you fall on the ice. Education in this aspect is key. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Hopefully y'all are able to get out and have a great, safe, successful ice fishing season. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time.